Good evening. Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day here in Oregon. I'm very glad that you chose to share your time with me at the end of the day / beginning of the evening. If I was still drinking wine, this would be wine time actually, but instead it is now a yoga time. So we've got Princess the cat here to join us for a nice slow beginner level, but certainly all levels are welcome to just come and relax. If you have a strap or maybe a bathrobe belt or some blocks or couch cushion or pillow, I'm just sitting on my couch cushion right now. Any of those things you might want to just have handy in case you want to use them to enhance your practice. I do like to sit up on a cushion because it does give my hips a little bit more height, and it allows my knees in this easy seated pose to come all the way down to the mat. So I invite you to join me here in either Sukhasana, just a traditional cross-legged pose, or Siddhasana, one heel in and then the other stacked in front, so that, and this seems to work best for my legs, but experiment and see what works best for you. If this doesn't work for you, you can always take Dandasana, staff pose with both legs in front, or Hero's pose, sitting on your knees, back on your heels. So whatever is most comfortable for your body, I invite you to find that seat now. And just maybe shake off the day a little bit, just kind of just shake everything off. And then take a nice big deep inhale and roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then back, and then let the shoulder blades come down the back as you exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale to draw the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhale back and down. And one more time, inhale the shoulders up, and then back, and then down. Take a nice deep breath, and as you do, just sit up nice and tall, lengthening the spine, lengthening the neck, maybe tucking the chin in a little bit. Exhaling as you relax the shoulders down the back, maybe tagging a little weight into your elbows, letting the hands rest on your knees or your thighs, wherever they just naturally feel comfortable. And keep breathing nice and deep. You can close your eyes here if you like, or just soften your gaze and gaze out in front of you at a point on the earth or the floor. And inhale to draw the crown up a little closer to the sky. And exhale to draw the shoulders down the back. And as you continue to breathe, nice, even breaths, kind of rock back and forth just a little bit to find a nice neutral seat where you're not sitting too far back and you're not leaning too far forward, but that spot right in between where you're sitting up tall on your sit bones. Once you've found that spot, go ahead and take your fingertips out to your sides. Turn the palms up towards the sky, and then inhale to reach the arms up and overhead, palms facing one another, drawing them together, and then exhaling the hands to the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms, palms up towards the sky, palms kiss together, and exhale down to your heart. Let's add the neck here. So as you inhale, the arms up towards the sky. Look for your thumbs with your gaze. Let the palms touch. And as you exhale, continue to watch the thumbs, drawing the chin closer to the chest. And do that a couple more times, inhaling the arms and gaze up. Exhaling, chin to chest, hand to heart. Inhale, up and overhead, stretching the front of the throat. And exhaling, stretching the back of the neck. One more time. Out and up to the sky. Stay here for the exhale. Let the shoulder blades come down the back. Wiggle the fingers here. And then draw the hands together and back to the heart. And let's reverse those circles, just warming up those shoulder sockets. So take your palms, Anjali Mudra, palm prayer position, hands at your heart. Look down at your fingertips, and then take the hands skyward, inhaling, looking up at the palms. And then exhale, break free, palms face the mat, and down to the side and back to center. Up and down and back to center. Inhaling up, exhaling down to the sides. Draw your palms back to center. Last time, inhale the palms up and out to the sides, and keep the fingertips out to the sides. Gaze down at the mat. And if you're in a Sukhasana, easy pose, cross-legged, or Siddhasana with the one heel stacked in front of the other, switch your legs now. Just put the opposite leg on top or in front, just to kind of even things out. Bringing the fingertips back to the side. Let's inhale, palms up and towards the sky, facing each other. And then twist gently to the left, bringing the right palm to the left knee back behind you near the left hip. And this might be as far as is comfortable for you to go. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, let the shoulder blades come down the back. And maybe draw the left shoulder back a little bit farther. No forcing here, no pulling against the knee, just a nice gentle support with the hands. You can either look in front of you, or you can take the gaze back behind the left shoulder, all the while lengthening the spine as you inhale. And softening into the twist as you exhale. Take one more round of breath here. And as you inhale, go ahead and come back to center. Again, looking down at your mat, fingertips out to the sides. Lift the palms up and overhead. And then twist to the right, bringing the left palm to the right knee and the right fingertips near the right hip. As you inhale, lengthen and draw the crown towards the sky. And as you exhale, deepen the twist any amount more. Or just stay here and let your body soften into the twist. Stay here for a couple more rounds of breath, lengthening as you inhale, softening and twisting as you exhale, drawing the right shoulder blade back behind you, letting the gaze either be in front or back over the right shoulder, whatever feels comfortable in your neck tonight. And on your next inhale, go ahead and come back to center. Whichever leg is in front, actually let's just all do the right leg. So go ahead and straighten the right leg and bring it out so that your legs are kind of in an open V shape, but tuck the left heel in towards center. Orientate yourself so that you're kind of facing over your left knee, over the left thigh, fingertips to either side of the thigh. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen the neck towards the sky, letting the chin tuck gently inward. And then lean over the right leg, keeping the same orientation, so you're getting that nice side stretch in the left side body. You can bring your left palm to your left thigh, and then gently rest your right forearm on your right shin. Breathe here, keeping the torso nice and long, keeping the neck as an extension of the spine. So don't really let the head drop. And then inhale to draw the left arm up and over your left ear, palm down, and look up towards the sky. Open the heart. Let the torso be straight and long. Let the neck be long. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to maybe come a little bit closer to the right leg. Or maybe just stay here if that feels the best for you. Continuing to stretch and deepen and soften and lengthen. Always expanding and lengthening as you inhale, and always exhaling as you soften and relax. And on your next inhale, go ahead and draw the left arm upward and then back down towards your left thigh. And then let's switch legs. So draw the right heel into center and straighten the left leg out long. I forgot to mention that we should be keeping the extended legs foot flexed here, toes pointed up towards the sky. Orient yourself or point your torso out over your right thigh. Rest your left palm on your left shin. And take your right palm to your right thigh. And then let your torso come closer to the left leg, letting your forearm rest on the shin. Inhaling here to lengthen. Exhaling to soften and relax into the pose. And as you inhale, draw the right arm up and overhead, and then diagonal right above the right ear. Let the torso be long. Keep the beautiful neck, a nice extension of that spine. Inhaling as you lengthen and expand. And exhaling as you come any amount closer to the left leg. As you inhale, think about opening up the space in between the ribs and your right side body. Try not to crunch the left side of the body, but keep the torso long. And as you inhale, draw the right arm up, fingertips back towards your side, and then bring both feet together. Butterfly pose, cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana. In Sanskrit, hold the ankles here or hold the toes. You might have your heels up really close towards center, or your knees might be more comfortable if you have a nice wider diamond shape here. This is a good place to take a couple of couch cushions or pillows or a couple of blocks and maybe have them right under your knees for some support. And these blocks are convertible, so if you do have some, you can have them on the low setting, or you could even have them on the medium setting here to give yourself a little more height if the hip flexors are tight. Wherever you end up, sit up nice and tall, always thinking about keeping that nice long spine, nice long neck. And as you inhale the next time, hinge forward from the hips and draw the torso a little bit closer to the earth, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Breathing here, nice, deep, long cycles of breath. And if you like, you can go ahead and let the back round and let the forehead come closer to the feet, closer to the earth. If you like the support and you have a block or even a book or a small pillow, you could bring the forehead to the block and rest here, so there's not too much tension on the inner thighs. But wherever you end up, let the inhale fill the back body. Let the head relax. Let the neck relax as you exhale. Breathing here. And on your next inhale, lengthen the spine and hinge back to an upright position. And now we're going to take a wide leg forward fold. So the same position, but both legs out in the V shape. If your legs might only be that far apart, or they might be way far apart, but don't force it. Again, just let it be gentle, let it be kind to your body. Flex the feet, let the toes point up towards the sky, maybe spread the toes to let some air flow in between them. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit. Get a little flexibility in those feet. Keep the thighs and the knees pointed up towards the sky like the feet are. And you can have your hands on the thighs. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, let the shoulders relax down the back. You can stay here, or if you like, you can go ahead and walk the fingertips forward a little bit, drawing yourself closer to the earth. Maybe you take the forearms all the way to the floor or the mat. Maybe use a block here to support the forehead. Maybe try a couple of different ways to see what works best in your body. If you like, you can come even closer every time you exhale. Draw yourself closer to the mat. You could even peace sign your big toes here, taking the peace sign on in between the big toe and the next toe to sort of draw yourself a little bit closer to the earth. Lengthening the neck, tucking the chin. And wherever you are on your next inhale, go ahead and lift the upper body, hinging back up from the hips. And then take the legs back out straight in front of you, Dandasana, and shake them out just a little bit. Maybe windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then let's go ahead and come over to all fours, tabletop position. If you have a blanket or a towel or a pillow and you'd like a little extra cushion underneath the knees, feel free to do that here. If you do need some extra cushioning and you don't have a blanket or pillow, you can always roll your mat to triple thickness and rest the knees right here. I'm on carpet, so I don't need any extra padding today, but if I was on a hard floor, I definitely would. So we're taking tabletop position, always remembering to breathe, always remembering that nice long inhale and exhale. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, shins are parallel, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Excuse me. Have your index fingers parallel to one another. And press into the fingers and press into the thumb to counterbalance the weight in the wrist. Keep the neck long, chin slightly tucked, and keep a nice flat back. And I know with the natural curvature of your spine, you're not going to get a perfectly flat back, but get to the feeling of having a nice flat back. So if you could put a teacup up there and it's not going to go anywhere. And gently rock a little back and forward. Again, keeping the weight out of the wrists as much as possible. Just letting some movement come to the wrists. And then kind of circle over to the right, forward, right, back, left, forward, right, back, left. Little circles, just letting the joints be lubricated. And then go ahead and reverse the circles, circling around to the left and then back and to the right. This should help us find some mobility in our wrists and help strengthen our wrists so that we can go even farther in our practice. And you can stay here, lengthening the shoulders down and away from the ears, lengthening the spine, pressing into the mat with the tops of the feet. Or you can walk your hands out just a few inches farther out past your shoulders. Curl your toes under and draw your hips towards the back of the mat. On your next inhale, peel your hips up towards the sky, straightening the legs. They don't have to be all the way straight. A nice bend, if you like, is great here. And we're just going to stretch the hamstrings and pedal it out here, downward facing dog. Maybe lift the right heel and draw the left heel towards the mat, and then switch, lifting the left heel and drawing the right heel towards the mat. You could even point your toes inward, a little pigeon toe here to stretch the outside of the calves. Draw the shoulder blades together and down the spine, even though technically it's up the spine because we're in an inversion, but same concept as when we're in a seated pose. Letting the shoulders be wide, letting the arm bones kind of have this outward rotation. And letting the leg bones kind of have an inward rotation to make space across the low back and the sacrum. Take one nice, big, deep breath here. And as you exhale, exhale out the mouth with a noise, any noise. So inhale. Just exhale, let it all go. Inhale again. You can exhale with just a gentle sigh. Or you can just really let it go. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then bring the knees to the mat. Tops of the feet to the mat. And sink back into child's pose. You could rest your forehead on the mat or to a block. You can have your arms be active and extended, or you can just let the forearms come to the mat and relax. You could even swim the arms back behind you, hands towards your feet, and take this little snail position. You can rock back and forth a little bit, getting a nice little massage across the front of your forehead. Maybe nod your head yes and then no, massaging that third eye. And then inhale again, back in to tabletop position. Take your left hand and lay it right across the top of the right hand. Inhale, cow pose here, and then exhale, cat, and back into child's pose. Letting the head and neck relax. Inhaling into that left side body, making space in between the ribs, opening up. And as you exhale, relax the body a little bit more. Relax the jaw. And the next time you inhale, come back to tabletop position. Stay for the exhale, and then bring the right hand to the top of the left. Inhale, cow pose, and then exhale into cat, and then child's pose, Halasana. Inhale into the right side body, opening up space, and exhaling to let the head and neck relax. Continuing to breathe. Continuing to let it be soft. And on your next inhale, come back up to all fours. And then take a couple more cow cats here. Heard this referred to as chakrasana. Chakrasana? I'm not quite sure about that. But inhale, cow, opening up the collarbones, lifting the heart. Exhale, cat, rounding the back, dropping the tailbone, letting the head be heavy. And think about kind of externally rotating the upper arms as you come into cow, opening up through the pectoral muscles here, and then sort of internally rotating as you come into cat, letting the shoulders drop closer to the floor. You're not actually moving the hands as you rotate inward and outward, but just kind of tractioning a little bit. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and extend the right leg behind you, toes pointing down towards the mat. And as you exhale, draw the right knee towards the nose, and then plant the right foot in between your palms. This is a great place for blocks here to give yourself a little more space, bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Keep the left knee down on the mat. And if you want a little more stretch in the left hip flexor, you can go ahead and inch your left knee back a little bit more. Just make sure to keep the right knee supported right over the right ankle. Press evenly into that front right foot, across the ball of the foot, across the heel. You can bring your palms to the blocks. Again, remember these have several positions, so you can make it medium, or you can even take the high setting here and really make some space in the front body. Let the neck be long. Inhale to open the front body wherever you are, whether you're here or here. Inhale to stretch that left hip flexor. And exhale to kind of draw the right hip flexor towards the back of the mat. So you're sort of doing this scissor motion with the hips, keeping the hips facing the front of the mat. Stretching that hip flexor. It's a really great place to open up because we are in a seated position much of the day. So this is really great for the low back, really great for the hips. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and come back to tabletop position. Stay for the exhale here. And then inhale to stretch the left leg out behind you, toes pointed toward the mat, foot flexed, and then exhale the knee to nose, and then plant the left foot in between the hands. You can walk that right knee back for a bigger stretch in the front hip. Again, you can use your blocks here to bring the floor a little bit closer. You can tuck your back foot, your back toes, if that feels more supported here, or have the top of the foot pressing into the mat. Again, this is a great place to pad those knees. If you have any kind of sensitivity there, I encourage you to take care of your knees. You can come to high setting on the blocks if you have them available. Or if you don't, you can just be down here on your fingertips. Stretching open the front body, lengthening the neck, breathing into that right hip flexor. Exhaling to draw the left hip flexor back towards the back edge of the mat. Take a full breath here. And then go ahead and bring both knees back underneath the hips, tabletop position. Take a cat-cow here, couple breaths, inhaling cow, exhaling cat. And then you can either stay in tabletop. We're going to do the same round of low lunges, Anjaneyasana, that we just did. But you can come from tabletop like we did last time, or you can walk the hands slightly forward, curl the toes under, and draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up towards the sky, and then exhale to bring the knee to the nose, and then plant the foot in between the palms. You can keep the knee up here, or if you're started in tabletop, or even if you started in downward dog, go ahead and bring the knee to the mat, whichever feels most comfortable for your body tonight. And we're going to plant the left palm, and we're going to gently open up the right arm, twisting the right fingertips towards the sky. And your arm might only come up this far. If you have shoulder issues, if you're taking care of your shoulder, might not come very far at all. Or if you have full mobility, you might twist all the way up to the sky. I'm kind of somewhere in between here. Inhale to stretch the arm, tucking the shoulder blades towards one another, wiggling the fingers, and then exhale to bring the right palm back to the mat, and then step back to tabletop or downward facing dog. Stay for one round of breath wherever you are. And on your next inhale, lift the right leg, toes pointed towards the mat. And then exhale to draw the knees up to your nose and plant the left foot between the palms. Palms or fingertips. Take a nice round of breath here. Again, the knee can be down on the mat, the toes can be curled under, or the top of the foot can be pressing into the mat. Or you can curl the toes under and lift the back knee. Plant the right palm, and then open up the left side for a twist, reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky. Staying for a round of breath here, letting the shoulder blades come toward one another as you exhale. Inhale to wiggle the fingers, and then exhale to plant both palms and step the left foot back. Let's everybody come to tabletop position, and then bring the knees out wide on the mat, big toes touching, and draw back into child's pose. Let the heart melt towards the mat. Let the arms rest here. Maybe rotate the wrists a little bit, one way and then the other. One more round of breath here. And then we'll inhale back to all fours. So you could be in either all fours or downward dog here. And as you inhale, extend the right leg behind you. And then wherever you are, whether it's in tabletop or downward facing dog, bend the right knee and draw the right knee up towards the sky to open up the right hip. Keep the palms evenly planted in the mat. Maybe rotate the ankle one way and then the other. And as you exhale next time, draw the knee up towards the nose and plant the foot in between your palms. We're going to do the same thing here, either with the knee on the mat or lifted with the toes curled under. You can use a block here if you like for a little more height, or just rest the palm or the fingertips to the mat. Open up the twist to the right side body. Stay for one round of breath here, reaching toward the sky and wiggling the fingertips as you inhale, and then exhale back to center. Palms to the mat, step the right foot back, knees underneath the hips. Last time, draw the left heel back behind you from tabletop or from downward facing dog. Bend the left knee and draw the knee towards the sky. Letting the left foot be heavy. Rotating that left ankle. Inhaling to open up the hip. And then exhale to draw the knee towards the nose. Plant the foot between the palms. Plant the right hand and open up the left side body. Reaching the fingertips up toward the sky as you inhale. And then exhale to draw the palms back to the mat. Take the left foot back behind you. Knees to the mat. And once again, child's pose. Your version, whether it's knees and shins parallel to one another, knees wide, big toes touching, extended or relaxed, or that nice snail pose where you can really relax the shoulders. Breathe into the back. Inhaling to expand the skin across the back. And then exhaling to just relax and let everything out. And the next time you inhale, go ahead and draw back up. And then cross your ankles or swing your legs out to one side or the other and come back to a seated position. Let's go ahead and sit in Dandasana, staff pose. Legs extended out in front of you, long on the mat. Feet flexed, toes pointing up towards the sky. Sitting up nice and tall, spine extended, neck and extension of the spine. The palms can be on the tops of the thighs, or the fingertips can be out towards your side, or pressing your palms in near your hips. Sit nice and tall here. Breathing to lengthen. Exhaling to relax. And then plant the bottoms of the feet on the mat and scooch a little farther down the mat so that the knees are bent and pointed up towards the sky. Open your arms out, palms up in front of you, keeping the spine nice and long and keeping the heart open, opening up and expanding through the collarbones, tucking the shoulder blades and expanding the collarbones. Arms rotated outward, palms up towards the sky. And then you can either come to your back on the mat here, or you can bring the palms to the back of the thigh and gently let yourself lower to the mat. Use your core to support your back as you lower yourself slowly, slowly, slowly to the mat. And then draw one knee and then the other into your chest. And rock side to side. Give yourself a little hug. Again, experiment here with where it feels best across your back body. You might want your knees tucked really close in towards your collarbone to really focus on massaging across the mid-back. Or you might let the knees fall farther away so that you can really rock back and forth across the small of the back, across the top of the sacrum here. Maybe even drawing one leg away and then the other to kind of get a little booty massage here. And then remember how we did butterfly, cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet touching. And we did that in a seated position, but we're going to do that in a reclined position here. So Supta, Baddha Konasana. So draw the knees away from you and then reach to grab the feet in this reclined cobbler's pose. And this is a good place for a belt or strap. If the feet don't come quite close enough to reach with your hands, if you don't have a belt or strap and you want a little bit more room, you can just hold your ankles here or your shins or even your pant leg or your knees. Just let the knees be wide. If you have a strap here and you want to try using it, you can wrap it around the balls of the feet. Let the soles of the feet come together and hold one side of the strap in each hand and let the backs of the triceps come to the mat. And you can hold your butterfly pose right here. Inhale here, and then exhale. And then we're going to take it to happy baby. So let's draw the soles of the feet up towards the sky and the knees towards the shoulders. So this is with the strap, or you can peace sign the big toes here, or you can hold the ankles or the shins or the pant leg or the outer edges of the feet. And you can see this is kind of a happy baby pose. And just rock gently side to side. Maybe extend one leg to stretch out that IT band. And then the other. We're going to go back and forth from Baddha Konasana to happy baby. So if you're using the strap, it looks like this. Inhale, cobbler's pose. Exhale to draw the soles of the feet up towards the sky. Happy baby. Inhale, cobbler's pose. Exhale, happy baby. If you're not using a strap, inhale, cobbler's pose, clasping the feet between the palms. And exhale to open up into happy baby. Drawing the knees towards the shoulders, elbows inside the shins, feet flex, and then back and forth, cobblers, butterfly, whatever you want to call it. Exhale, happy baby. Just getting some nice movement here in the hips. And on your next inhale, stay here, recline butterfly, and then exhale to draw the knees together and hug them into the chest again. And on your next inhale, go ahead and stretch the legs out long, stretch the arms up and overhead out long, rotate the ankles, rotate the feet. Continuing to breathe here, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, stretching the front body. And then exhaling to bend one knee and then the other, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Feet are parallel, knees pointed up to the sky. Getting ready for a bridge pose here. Tuck the shoulder blades in and down toward one another. Let the neck be long, with the chin drawn slightly toward the chest. Take your palms down to the mat. And gently inhale to bring the hips, rolling them up towards the sky, pressing into the feet, pressing into the triceps. And then exhale to roll the spine back down to the mat. Rolling bridges. Let's continue inhaling the hips up towards the sky, any amount. No strain here. And exhaling to roll the hips back to the mat. Back and forth. Slowly, one vertebra at a time. Inhaling the hips up. And exhaling the hips back to the mat. On your next inhale, let's stay here, inhaling the hips up to the sky. You can press into the palms, press into the triceps, or if it's in your practice, you might clasp your hands underneath you, drawing the shoulder blades up underneath you. Clasp your hands and press up any amount higher into the hips. Stay here for a full breath. And then change your clasp so that the opposite thumb is on top. Pressing the hips upward any amount more. Stay for one full breath. And then bring the palms back out to your sides. Palms on the mat, rolling the spine one vertebra at a time. Back to the mat. Last time with Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to either side. If you like, use your pillows or your blocks to support your knees here. And maybe take the base of the thumb and massage the hip flexors and the tops of the thighs here. Just pressing down and away. And then bring one hand to your belly and the other hand near your heart. And take the biggest inhale you have taken all day. In through the nose. And exhale out the mouth with the sigh. Again, inhale. Inhale, and when you think you've had enough air, take another sip more. Hold it in, and then slowly exhale everything all out. Drawing the belly button towards the spine. Pause for a beat here. And then again, inhale deeply, deeply, deeply. Filling up all four corners of the torso. Taking one last sip when you can't take any more. Pause for a beat, and then exhale. Slow, slow, slow. Completely emptying out the lungs. Last time, deep, deep breath. Filling up every inch of the torso. One more sip here. Hold it. And then slowly, slowly, slowly let it out. One more time. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Straighten the legs. Wiggle the toes and fingers. And then find your Shavasana. That might be palms rotated out and up towards the sky, next to your hips. Legs straight and feet as wide as the mat, letting the toes fall open. Full Shavasana. If that's not comfortable for you here, you can bring blocks or pillows underneath the legs, underneath the knees. You can bend the knees here. Feet as wide as the mat, flat on the mat, and knees gently falling in toward one another. This is a constructive rest pose, letting those hip flexors lengthen. And then just be with your breath, gently letting the belly rise and fall. Inhaling to fill the body and exhaling to melt into the mat. Relaxing, letting your mat support you. Letting your entire body just melt like sugar on the tongue of life. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw, relax the hands. And just breathe. I invite you to stay here as long as time allows for you. Or if you like, you can bend the knees if they're not already bent, and gently windshield wiper them from one side to the other. Roll yourself to either side into a nice fetal position. Take a full breath here before pressing yourself up into a seat. Again, sit however it makes sense in your body. Sukhasana, cross-legged, or my preference, I'm going to find Dandasana here. Legs stretched out straight in front of me, toes pointed up towards the sky. Fingertips out towards the sky, out towards my sides, supporting me gently. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, sitting evenly on those sit bones. And then exhaling to let the shoulder blades relax down the mat, down the back. And then inhale, palms up and out to the side, overhead, where they kiss and come down to your heart. Tilt the chin gently towards the chest. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank yourself for being kind to yourself and giving your body the care it needs and deserves. May you be healthy and happy. May the rest of your evening be lovely. Namaste. I am going to turn the sound back on here.
Well, that was lovely.
Anybody wants, if you want to unmute and you have any questions, you certainly can.
That one almost kicked my butt with the leg lifting.
Did you stay in tabletop or did you go up into downward dog?
I went to downward dog for a whopping like 2 seconds, and then I'm like, nope.
Well, that's why I gave the option